It's 761 days until the next elections. So always keep in mind that our support for the vice president includes the support so that she will win the vote in 2028. So that's why we always post dito sa ano po, para dun sa mga nanonood sa TikTok, doon sa background namin, dun sa blue, red, and green apps, ito po ay nagmamarka kung ano, araw-araw nakapost sa amin ito yung number of days left until the 2028 elections. Kasi ito yung dapat pinaghahandaan natin. Of course, with still the prayer that maybe it won't take that long. So, ang pag-usapan natin ngayon, yung ni-request ninyo kahapon tungkol sa pag-file ni VP Inday sa Korte Suprema ng petition for certiorari at kung ano ang posibleng mga grounds niya dito. Pero ang lahat, kailangan italaki natin itong mga sinasabi, mga hanash sa kanya na sinasabi ng mga ilang miyembro ng Leon Justice at ang kanilang mga supporters. At ito ang sinasabi nila, naduduwag kay umaakyat sa Korte Suprema. Ang pagkakasabi nila ay tila kinakarakterize nila ang pag-akyat sa Korte Suprema as something that is wrong. Ano ba ang masama? Ngunit nakikita natin sa communications nila ay tuloy-tuloy nilang sinasabi, umakyat sa Korte Suprema. Natatakot daw o ayaw humarap sa kanyang kaso. So, sagutin po muna natin yan. Unang-una, ang pag-akyat sa Korte Suprema ay hindi lamang sa pag-aapila. Ito ay nagagawa lalong-lalo na pag petition for certiorari kung may desisyon. Halimbawa, ikaw po ay may kaso sa Regional Trial Court. Mayroon hindi kayo sang-ayon sa desisyon ng judge, ng hukom. Maaaring questionin yung desisyon na yon at umakyat sa Korte Suprema or with a higher court like the Court of Appeals. So for example, mayroong in-exclude na ebidensya na ang feeling nyo dapat in-include. So, aakyat ka on a petition for certiorari. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, mayroong decision. Yung decision na yun does not dispose of the case, meaning hindi pa tapos yung kaso. So, at kahit masagot yung katanungan na yun, it does not signal the end of the case. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang makuusbong yung kaso o dun sa Regional Trial Court dahil mayroon pang desisyon na gustong questionin o kailangan ma-resolba ng maayos or ng naaayon sa batas. Depende dun nga sa panig na nagpa-file. So, ibig sabihin yan, ayoko itong decision and the decision is temporary, hindi mariresolba yung kaso, meaning it's not about guilt or innocence kung nasa Regional Trial Court ka at ikaw ay nasa criminal na kaso. Hindi yan magdedetermine ng guilt or innocence. It's a decision that is part of the case and within the case pero hindi pa siya yung hatol. So, pagka ganun, pwede kang umakyat sa Korte Suprema para maresolba yan. Usually, ang grounds niyan ay pinoprotektahan mo ang karapatan mo, lalong-lalo na from the possibility that the decision issued by the judge ay hindi makatarungan, hindi naaayon sa batas, o kaya nalalapastangan ang karapatan mo. So, aakyat ka. Ibig sabihin ba nun, mayroon kang tinatago? Hindi. Yun lang ang sinasabi ng mga kritiko ni VP Inday. Pag nag-file daw siya sa Korte Suprema, ibig sabihin takot. Ibig sabihin, mayroong ebidensya na ayaw niyang palabasin. Not necessarily. Dahil yung ebidensya naman ay tinatalakayan doon sa trial. At ang trial ay ginagampanan ng Senado. So anong ginagampanan sa House of Representatives? Dito ay yung determination. Ultimately, it will be the determination of probable cause. Ngunit tradisyon ay yung sufficiency in form and substance. Ngayon, ano pa ba yan? So, dinagdagan nila ng sufficiency in grounds. All of these are necessary to help them determine kung may probable cause. Ibig sabihin naman ng probable cause. Ang probable cause means that ito yung standard para makaakyat sa Senado ang kaso. Anong ibig sabihin pa rin yan? Medyo magulo, di ba? Hindi kasi natin pinapayagan yung mga weak cases o yung mga cases na magiging aksaya lang sa oras ng Senado. So, kaya yan kinikilatis ng mga mambabatas sa Kamara de Representantes ay para sa efficiency and para hindi nga maaksaya yung oras, i-determine nila kung mayroon ba talagang kaso ito. Kung there are probably grounds for impeachment and probably the Vice President committed the acts that violate those grounds. So, Ang standard niyan ay isang reasonable man. Kung ikaw ay rasonableng tao at nakita mo yung ebidensya or lack thereof, nakita mo yan, maaari mong sabihin, probably there's no case. Probably she did not commit this. Or probably walang jurisdiction. Ganyan. Okay? So, yun ang trabaho ng House. Hindi trabaho ng House kumuha ng ebidensya para dun sa kalaban. Hindi trabaho ng House ang magpakumpleto ng ebidensya ng prosecution. So, ang pag-aakyat sa Korte Suprema ay sa proteksyon ng karapatan ng respondent, and in this case, it is the Vice President. So sabi naman ng iba dito, naka-all caps pa kahit violation yan ng rules natin dito, kaso nga pumunta si Sara sa Supreme Court. The reason she goes to the Supreme Court is because a decision of the Committee on Justice that she is questioning to protect her rights. Right? So you cannot proceed with the determination of probable cause if the committee proceeds to violate her rights. May karapatan siya na mag-seek ng judicial redress. Ibig sabihin nun, yung hukuman ang magpoprotekta sa kanyang karapatan. And that's not a wrong thing. People do that every day in a variety of cases. And yes, even in matters that are private. For example, decisions of a board of trustees, board of directors. Yan. Pwedeng iakyat mo. This board of directors determined that I should lose my voting rights in the company. Akyat sa Korte Suprema on a petition for certiorari and prohibition. Pwede pang with prayer for temporary restraining order. So ang tanong ngayon, bakit daw hindi binigyan ng TRO? Teka, at libida pa. Pwede kasing i-issue right away. Totoo yan ng Korte Suprema if on the face makita nila, necessary ang TRO to protect her rights at kung ano para hindi mag-deteriorate yung kanyang assets, hindi siya magkaroon ng irreversible harm. Now, is there any harm that she is in danger of that is irreversible? Wala pang hearing. Kailan ang susunod na hearing? Di ba sa 16? So the court does not need to issue a TRO right now. They have time to ask the HOR to make a comment on the two petitions. Yung petition ni VP Sara at yung petition ng mga lawyers led by Attorney Torreon and Attorney Delgra. Okay? So, by the way, kung magtutol kayo dito, writing in all caps doesn't strengthen your argument. So just write in the usual at kami po ang we will read naman your comment, lalong-lalo na if there's a lesson to be learned here. So, because that is the purpose of our going live in many instances, because we have information to share. And if we are capable in helping you come to an answer or to clarify the matters that appear to be not clear to you, then we will do that because it helps everybody else. In addition to that, everybody, including you, including the trolls, will be able to better participate in the national conversation. Because, of course, what VP Sara is going through is part of the national conversation. What the House of Representatives is doing is part of all of that. And it is necessary for us to continue in this democratic project, in this project of democracy, to continue talking to each other. So, for those who have been misled by the communications, going to the Supreme Court is not a bad thing. Going to the Supreme Court does not indicate a lack of bravery. On the contrary, what the VP is saying, House of Representatives, finish doing your job. They can make a finding of probable cause even now, because if they say that she did not file an answer, it means she did not make any submissions. And in not making submissions, the Committee on Justice can decide solely on the submissions made by the complainants. Ibig sabihin, walang trinisinta si VP. Therefore, yung complaint lang ang magdi-decide, ang gagamitin ng Committee on Justice para mag-decide kung may probable cause o hindi. Now, some people are saying, in all likelihood, it's the that is afraid of VP Sara going to the Supreme Court because it might become obvious that even if they only decide on the complaint itself, the complaint is insufficient. And it will be revealed in the Supreme Court that there is insufficient evidence here. So, yung totoo niyan, if the communications of the respondent Committee on Justice insists on saying na natatakot si VP Inday, the answer to that is, in all likelihood, it is the Committee on Justice that has better grounds to be afraid. Sila po ang dapat matakot because a lot of the things that they are asserting might not lie within the bounds of the law. So the only people who should be afraid of the Supreme Court are those who have incomplete arguments or insufficient grounds to insist on what they have been doing. So, okay, so before we go into the possible grounds on why the VP had gone to the Supreme Court, let's check your questions on why this is not a question of bravery. Sabi ni Brian, sabi ni Attorney Dai, tuloy daw ang impeachment kasi walang PLO na binigay sa House Committee. That is true, that is correct. But when did they set the hearing? Di ba April 16, kung di ako nagkakamali. So, okay lang yan. Wala naman talaga. Walang ano, and there's no reason. But what VP is saying, and there's no loss to the VP, there's no reason for any of you to be worried because the VP actually wants them to decide na. Decide tayo ngayon. Sige, mag-finding na kayo ng probable cause kung gusto nyo yan. Because the court will resolve the matters anyway. Now, kung abutin, hindi pa matapos yung House of Representatives sa determination ng probable cause, and the Supreme Court either issues a TRO or decides immediately on the merits of the case, that's entirely possible, then there's no reason, okay lang, kahit tumuloy sila, even if they make a finding of probable cause, then there's no damage because the Supreme Court will simply reverse that. Right. For those na hindi madalas nandito, explain ko lang po. Minsan kailangan po kong gamitin ang English because we are taught in the English language. The language of the courts here in the Philippines, even with the translations, remains to be English. So minsan may mga doktrina na mahirap talagang i-explain o i-argue kapag nasa Filipino na. Gayunpaman, alam ng karamihan na madalas nakatambay dito na as much as possible we use the national language. And oh, by the way, the other reason why we use English is because it is still in our laws, it is still in the Constitution that English remains an official language of this country. So, alam ko na yung iba sa inyo, gusto ninyo magsalita ng Filipino. But the moment you tell me na, huy, Filipino tayo, kailangan mag-Filipino ka o managalog ka, that is an incorrect argument. Kasi, official language siya. And in fact, we have our choice of as many local languages as we can in order to discourse. But if you can understand me, and you ought to be able to more or less, in Filipino or English, that is sufficient. Or at least that's how the law looks at it. But if you find that there are some things that are not clear, kaya nga po, meron kami dito na pagkakataon na makakapagtanong kayo at sinasagot naman po namin. Okay, but there are some things that when you say it, automatically puts us on our guard. Halimbawa, yung statement na nagtatanong lang, it does not exonerate you from a libelous statement para dun sa mga taong nagtatanong kunwari. Diba? Yung mga nagsasabi na, is it true that you said this? Nagtatanong lang po. Ay, sus Maria. That will not stop a case of libel being filed against you. Nor does it make you look innocent. If you want to ask a question, ask your question. We only ask that you be respectful because we will deal with your questions, especially those that are made in good faith. Sabi ni Kim, malaki ba ang chance na madisbay mga congressmen and lawyers na members ng committee? You know that those who are members of the committee and they speak and they act in the course of doing their job as congressmen, and by the way, impeachment cases are part of their duties and responsibilities and obligations and mandate, then they are immune from suit. So, it's possible na baka hindi mag-fly kung magkaroon sila ng disbarment case on something that they said during the course of the inquiry or the hearings or something they had done in the course of that hearing. Okay, we can discuss the living and the dead later on. Let's finish with the impeachment muna. Kasi hirap right now madidistract tayo and then hindi natin natatapos kasi yung paksa natin for the day. So, para doon naman sa mga nanonood sa TikTok, sa Black app, may gift goals dito. And the purpose of those gift goals is to determine whether or not we will extend kasi sa TikTok lang naman po kami nag-extend, or if it will go into our favorite ano non-legal pastime, which is the karaoke nights. April 14. Thank you very much for that correction, Mr. Romel Nuque. The next hearing daw is on April 14. So we have to correct ourselves. Ang susunod na hearing, April 14, hindi po 16. Sabi ni Ivoni, hindi pa nga sumagot ang Supreme Court sa TRO ni VP, ba't ang iingay ng mga makakaliwa at ni Ridon, high blood na agad sila. The court can actually still issue a TRO, even later on. Pag sa tingin nila that the rights of the Vice President are going to be grievously violated, or that there will be irreversible damage. So, walang time period po kung kailan ibibigay ng court. Although, sabi nila, or sa yung ibang mga dalubhasa, sinasabi nila, if the need for a TRO is evident on the face of the petition, igagrant yan kaagad. Kung ito nga ay makaapekto sa kanyang mga karapatan. Sabi ni Stu, and this, I believe that you are incorrect, Stu. Sabi niya, akala ko ba bloodbath? Puro yabang pala, tatak Duterte. Oh, you don't understand. The bloodbath is already happening because I strongly believe that you are more afraid that the VP has taken the matter to the Supreme Court, because this is clearly what you have been fearing. Otherwise, you wouldn't conduct communications. Hindi kayo magsasabi na, ay duwag, ay ganito. All of your language in the past weeks has been directed at shaming her so that she will not go to the Supreme Court. There is nothing shameful about going to the Supreme Court, and it has nothing to do with bravery. But the bloodbath could happen entirely there. Bakit? If the Supreme Court decides that the Committee on Justice has violated her rights, sino yung talo? You will lose the case and lose the impeachment, meaning she will not be impeached. So there's your bloodbath, but it will not be her blood. Sabi ni Kaupe, ang HOR ang duwag. Kung matapang sila, hindi sila magre-resort to law-bending acts. Mahiya kayo HOR, pati mga trolls ng HOR. Kakapal ng mukha nyo. Okay, we will block those who are not interested in a discussion. If you're going to be here simply to insult either myself or the people who are commenting, then you will be blocked. No second chances yan. So sa totoo lang, who is acting afraid? Who has been releasing statement after statement after statement, or saying things intended to shame the Vice President for going to the Supreme Court? Why? What are they afraid of na mauungkat ng Supreme Court? What are they afraid of that the Supreme Court can decide? It might also be entirely possible that if the strategy of the Committee on Justice was to hold a prolonged hearing and keep coming up with matters that are intended to embarrass her, intended to soil her reputation, because she is, after all, the primary candidate for 2028. If their intention was to use these proceedings as for political ends, and that is to make sure that she does not get elected in 2028, then the fact remains that the fear here is not the fear of evidence coming out, but rather the fear that the Vice President is going to win in 2028, despite all of these efforts to use a constitutionally guaranteed proceeding and twist it around for political ends in order to gain that victory in 2028. Sabi ni Mark, the HOR will always follow the Supreme Court ruling. I don't the HOR is afraid. Excuse me, who said that the HOR will always follow the Supreme Court ruling? Did they not include in the discussions of the Committee on Justice matters pertaining to acts prior to her becoming the Vice President? This was clearly decided by the Supreme Court in Duterte versus House of Representatives. The decision has been final and is executory. So she cannot be impeached, and no allegations can be made on grounds of her to attempt impeachment or to pass off as grounds of an impeachable offense on acts that were committed prior to her occupation of an impeachable office. So don't talk about things like that if it is not clear to you what the House has or has not done. Okay? So second, nobody said that the HOR is afraid to follow the Supreme Court ruling. On the contrary, what they are afraid of is that they will be exposed by the highest court in the land of using these proceedings in violation of the rights of the Vice President. They want this to be a communications operation by all means. But the danger for the Committee on Justice, and in fact for the House of Representatives, is that this can backfire on them, and going to the Supreme Court has exposed them that possibility. In fact, the possibility grows stronger every day. Sabi ni Kaupe, hindi kayo absolute HOR, mahiya kayo, hindi kayo para sa bayan, para sa pera kayo, sa mali-maletang pera. Mahiya kayo, madumi pera nyo. Sabi ni Sons of Levi, dudugo talaga utak ng taga-Committee on Justice, pwede silang maligo sa, yan ang tawag na bloodbath. Sabi ni Nel, si Delima, kaduwagan daw ginawa ni VP Sara. Anong gusto nila gagawing VP? Anong gusto nilang gagawin ni VP? Pabayaan yung gagawin nilang fishing expedition? Inis yata yan. Inis yan kasi di pumunta si VP Sara sa kanilang teleserye sa HOR. It's true. Kanta daw tayo ng My Way, sabi ni Kenzo. Sabi ni I Am Something, HOR is giving her a chance to explain herself, but she chose not to join the hearing. She does not have to take that. Giving her a chance to explain herself does not mean that she has to take it. In fact, she can be heard in the Supreme Court. So in that case, the House has to take it. Sabi ni Patato Tini, representatives indeed, not only that they rob government coffers, but also the overwhelming mandate of VP Sara. And oh, by the way, on that matter of the right to be heard, okay, she did make herself heard. She filed an answer. And that is sufficient for her. Kayo lang naman yung nagpo-pretend that she did not like to make herself heard. She filed an answer. She questioned the finding of sufficiency in form and substance. But the House, the Committee on Justice, chose to consider it as though the answer had not been filed. That doesn't negate her response. The Committee on Justice can say na, okay, it's as though you did not file an answer, and yet they cannot say she did not file an answer. Those are two different things. So she made herself heard. Excuse me, gusto nyo pa piliin kung paano siya madidinig? Ang gusto ninyo kasi is that she will make herself heard under scrutiny, an illegal scrutiny, to be conducted by the Committee on Justice. That's not how it goes. You don't get to choose. The rules are clear. She can file an answer, and she did. Okay? So, anong sinasabi ninyong she did not take the chance to make herself heard? She did. Nobody says that she had to be at the hearing. Nothing in the rules requires her to be there. The problem with the Committee on Justice is that they're cherry picking. Minsan, kailangan nandyan siya. Pwede siyang whatever, parusahan. Minsan, hindi. Sabi ni Strictly, the HR is acting like mga bully na nakahanap ng katapat. How dare VP call them out for their sense of fair play? Sa akin kasi, when you are in a conflict, the best defense or the best way to resolve the issue is to give your enemy whatever it is that they are afraid of. Normally, inaaway ka because they are afraid of something. Many times, it's fear. Kung inggit yan, they're afraid that you will outshine them. In this case, the fear of VP Sara's winning in 2028 is what is driving much of these entire proceedings in the House. Okay lang. Because the House naman is a political animal, or so they say. As long as they do not violate her rights. So, sabi ni Christine, Tatay Digong karton. Naka-all caps pa siya, as though that strengthens his argument. Para yung mga tao na sumisigaw, thinking na pag sumigaw sila, mas malakas yung argument nila. Susme, Mariosep talaga, yung mga ganyan. Nagsasabi sila, Tatay Digong karton. Do you honestly think that hurts us? Unang-una, it doesn't even make any sense. So what if we like our standee? Nobody is saying that we like our standee more than President Duterte himself. But here's the thing. When it comes to President Duterte, even his standee gets more love than you guys do. So it's unfortunate that you think that you can use this against us when the fact remains is that the person that we love is so very much loved. The people that you idolize or the people that you want to put in positions of leadership, they're never going to be loved like that. That took a lifetime to achieve. Yes, when we're done with this. Okay, so let's go. What we can do here is review the grounds that were laid out in the press release of the petition filed by Attorney Torion at Attorney Delgra et al. So, if there are no more questions on the argument about this not being this hindi daw ito bloodbath or takot daw si VP Inday, I hope we have placed that matter to rest, and that if you should ever come across people trying to pass off that that non-argument, then you have something to say. You are well equipped. You will be coming to a battle of wits and you will be armed. Tama ba file ng complaint pero sila din ang piskal? No, hindi sila well, in the case of Laila de Lima, for instance, she was the one who endorsed, but she's not the complainant. But yes, actually, in the petition filed by Attorneys Torion Delgra et al., they did question that in particular, Congresswoman Laila de Lima is both an endorser of the complaint as well as a member of the Committee on Justice. Yun po yung yung possible parang conflict. So she should decide if she is a proponent or she is the lawyer, kumbaga, for the complainants, or she is a member of the Committee on Justice. Now, in general, you file the complaint in criminal cases. Ang kaso na yun, fina-file yan sa piskal. Magdi-decide yung piskal kung may probable cause. Bakit piskal ang magdi-decide ng probable cause? Kasi sila po ang magsusulong ng kaso na yan sa harap ng hukuman. And in this case, yung House ang magsusulong yan sa harap ng Senado. So hindi yan conflict of interest. Sila po ang nagdi-decide ng probable cause dahil sila haharap sa Senado. At kung kulang yung ebidensya para sa probable cause, they can decide, naku, sabit tayo dyan, wag na nating ituloy. That is the wisdom behind it. That's why the rule exists. However, di natin nakikita kung some of the members might be using the procedure for other ends, probably more political. Okay. Sabi ni Bong Jr., nung si Attorney Torion nag-file, sabi nila walang kinalaman sa kaso. Ngayon nag-file si VPSD, ayaw naman ni Congressman Chua. Ano ba talaga gusto? Ganito, normally, parties to the case should be able to file. So how do you decide if you're a party? You are a petitioner if you are claiming a right, that right has been violated, you can prove that an act has been committed in violation of that right. So, yun. That's what that means that you have a case. However, the determination of who can be a petitioner or who can be considered as having personality to sue can also accommodate that of a taxpayer suit. Ano yung taxpayer suit? Kapag mayroong paggastos ng pera ng taong bayan, kaya ka affected dahil taxpayer ka, ginagamit pera ng taong bayan na nakuha sa buwis at hindi tama yung paggamit nun. So yun yung kiniklaim na personality ng mga abogado. So if Congressman Chua contests the personality of Attorneys Torion et al., plus Dr. Mata pala, then they can raise that in their defense. Pwede nilang sabihin, this should be dismissed for lack of personality or lack of standing to sue. Sabi ni Attorney Bill, for these stalls, wisdom could never reach them. Sabi ni Unknown, watching po from Tawi-Tawi, Ma'am, so sad po, libre yung Korean electricity bill ng 4-piece, mantalang tayo mga nagkakasakit na nagtatrabaho pa tayo pa yung lugi. I understand how you feel because repeatedly sinasabi namin yan dun sa The Spokes. That is true. Sabi ni Ma'am Crystal, Dilima is such a hypocrite, lumapit din naman siya noon sa Supreme Court nung nagkakasa siya. That is correct. Remember how many times she went back to the Supreme Court questioning the finding of probable cause on her. She questioned the finding of the prosecutor's office. And she asked that the court not continue with her case because she says na kulang daw yung evidence to show probable cause. And matagal yan. That was one of the reasons why her case did not terminate during the Duterte administration. Says, di ba pwedeng ipaglaban ni VP ang rights niya? Ba't kini-question nila pagdulog ni VP sa Supreme Court? Precisely, kasi they're worried. Because the Supreme Court might say, alam nyo, yung pag-file pa lang ng unang kaso ng February 2 instead of waiting for February 6 already told the period, which means hindi na dapat tinanggap yung mga later cases. That might be a way to go. So worried sila doon. Baka ma-shortcut. Gusto nila mababad si VP Inday sa public scrutiny habang sila ang nagki-question. They were very successful during the Quadcom hearings, the hearings on the Committee on Good Governance, the budget hearings, because nakikita natin doon na they would ask questions and then they would not like the answers. And then sometimes they would actually even make her go, but they would not ask questions and then they would accuse her of not cooperating. 'Di ba? Gaslighting eh. Hi kay DJ Kuya. Sabi niya, kudos, you're indeed substance over form. Oh. Really sweet. Thank you. Okay, thank you kay let me just take this opportunity before we go into the grounds, the possible grounds. Thank you to Manolo, to DJ Kuya, to Kuy Koy. Ay, ano ba yan? The Great. Mekus. Ano pa ba? Okay? Did I miss anyone? So thank you very much to everybody who has shown support and continues to do so for Luminous. We do appreciate your participation. Hi kay Jeff, who's watching from Doha, Qatar, and to JNMY, who's watching naman in New Zealand. Okay, so all right, let's go into the possible grounds for the petition of VP. Ang nakita lang natin, because they did not publish the petition in full, ang nakita natin yung first ground, which is that the House of Representatives does not have jurisdiction to proceed with the impeachment because a case had, the initial complaints were filed on February 2. Now, since the 1-year period terminates on February 5, February 6 should have been the filing in order for the HOR to acquire jurisdiction. However, while the Committee on Justice dismissed the remaining complaint that was filed on February 2, the second one was withdrawn, they failed to take into consideration that inasmuch as there were complaints that were filed on February 2, the tolling of the next period should have begun during that time. At least yan ang sinasabi ng mga lawyers who had earlier filed the case. Ni VP Inday. So we have no reason, so yon. So we'll go into the next one. The next ground, possible ground is, okay, double standard, the application of double standards. It was unfortunate for them that there were 2 impeachment complaints filed or impeachment proceedings that went through the House of Representatives or is going through the House of Representatives. They decided the case of the president first. And in the case of the president, they construed the rules so strictly such that the complaints would not have had a ghost of a chance of proceeding. Whereas their reading of the complaints against the VP were so much broader and were so much more lax, at least according to the petitioners, no, that there was just no way that she was getting a break from them. There's just no way that they would have not found her, not continued with the proceedings. Okay. If you're trying to get my attention but your question is not in point, understand that's why hindi ko po kayo pinapansin, because mamaya na po yung hindi related sa impeachment. Okay. In all likelihood, the failure to plead ultimate facts will also be raised by the Vice President because they questioned this, and this was part of her answer. So, what are ultimate facts? Well, when you file a case for criminal offense in the prosecutor's office, you cannot include hearsay, conjecture, or matters that cannot readily be proven. So, for instance, you can say that I drove on NLEX at this time, and your assertion is substantiated by your toll stop. So, that can be considered an ultimate fact. It's not I found out that so-and-so was lying because I heard it from person C. Okay, next. Engaging in an illegal fishing expedition. So yung paggamit ng compulsory processes, number one, that usually is reserved for a court. Because in this case, even if the Committee on Justice says that they're merely asking clarificatory questions, the respondent, in this case, the VP, will not be protected by her lawyers, nor will her lawyers have the opportunity to conduct a questioning of the witnesses of the other side. In other words, lahat kay VP lang. The committee can question, but she herself or her lawyers cannot question the other witnesses, the witnesses that are going to be presented against her. It's very one-sided. So the House should stick to simple matters. Those that are already attached to the complaint, they can ask clarificatory questions on what has already been submitted. Now, paano kung sabihin nila, hindi, we didn't have enough time? They could have asked for time. Diba? From the time that they submitted, let's say February 6 nag-submit. From the time they submitted to the time that the case was actually called by the Committee on Justice, there was so much time there. They could have asked for even more time to secure evidence. But no, what is happening here is it appears that the Committee on Justice is using this coercive machinery, the power to issue subpoenas and subpoenas duces tecum, to circumvent the requirement that probable cause must be evident in the complaint and those documents that are already attached to the complaint. So, I would like to point out that despite the fact that we have successfully debunked the assertions na takot si VP, the trolls are insisting on simply repeating that line, which means two things. Number one, they have no argument. Number two, they are relying on a Goebbels strategy that repetition may lead people to believe in something simply because they see it so many times. Here's the thing. Once that has been debunked, no amount of repetition is ever going to disabuse us of the lack of logic of your assertions. So, luck. Okay, due process violations. Structural bias is what the lawyers have asserted. Sabi nila, the members of the committee already endorsed, sponsored, and publicly aligned themselves with the complaints, who had publicly aligned themselves with the complaints or complainants were permitted to participate. We've mentioned this earlier on. So yun, the decisions of the Committee on Justice insisting on the issuance of coercive machinery, of coercive orders in violation of the right of VP Inday to due process and the right to be protected against unnecessary, incompetent, and impertinent questioning. And insulting questions as well. So marami yan. Okay, let's look at your Questions and reactions. Hi, Attorney Bill, sabi niya, if the Committee on Justice is acting on these impeachment complaints, compulsory processes such as issuance of subpoena should not apply, as the committee is not acting in aid of legislation. There you go. Takot. Sumagot nga siya eh. Hi, Ma'am Mavi. Good evening. Hi, K3K Brandy. King Joker says, Ma'am, I hope ma-invite at ma-interview uli si Attorney Poe sa Spokes and other shows para ma-explain further and to understand better ng iba nating kababayan at para makontra din ang comms ni natin doon. Alam nyo, pagdating sa comms, that's you and me. For those of us who support and firmly believe in the Vice President, then we should continue posting and making our side known by our expressions on social media. Sabi ni Rance, would it be possible to conduct trial when only one side can interrogate? Watching from New Jersey, USA. Yun nga, that is the question. Because according to Attorney Mike Poa, where do you draw the line? Sabi ni Comi EF, ceasefire na daw Iran and US, magmumura na ba ang gas? As long as wala pang pumapasalaot na bagong mga barko post the time of the closing, then we don't know yet. Thank you kay Jimmy-san. Sabi ni Yadni, bakit naman matatakot si VP? Wala nga kayong ebidensya. Sabi ni Call Me EF, I miss you being Palace Press Officer. I was never Press Officer. I was the Press Secretary. So I am not on the same level as Undersecretary Claire Castro because she is a Palace Press briefer. When I would brief the media, it was part of my responsibility as Press Secretary. Sabi ni Mamela, watching from Kuwait, bakit ayaw ipaalam kung ano ang kalagayan ni Presidente PBBM? Well, when people are hiding things, it's because there's something to hide. There's a reason. But you're right. According to the Constitution, in case of serious illness, the public must be informed. Sabi ni Mazinger, harapin, takot lang siya mabuko. Huy, kayo, harapin yung Supreme Court, takot lang kayo matalo. Sabi ni Budol, may mga pulis sa St. Luke's ay tactic lang ng Malacanang. Ang totoo, nasa abroad ang B nagpapag... There's no legal term for gaslighting, ma'am. Hi, good night, Ma'am Raquel. Have a good rest. Sabi, sino ba yung nagtatanong? Ma'am, ikaw ba yung na-contempt dati? Hindi. There's a difference between appear under danger of contempt or may citation ka na for contempt. So, no, I have never been cited in contempt, ever. So, Diyos ko, kung mga ano kayo, mga akusa kayo, siguraduhin nyo yung hindi masasagot, ha? Thank you kay Hudas. Francis, hi. Thank you for being here. Thank you kay Manolo and kay Christoph. Red Lacson, ganito yan. Sabi niya, how do you abolish party lists? You have to change the Constitution. Here is my suggestion to you. When all you have is a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. So sometimes the direct resort is not the best one. You can abolish the problems of the party list. Diba? You can change the law. So you don't require a constitutional convention for that. Also, you have to examine ano yung kinagagalit ninyo. Examine the problem so you can come up with a solution that directly addresses that issue. Now, if there are people who become party list representatives that you don't like, find out what it is that is so not likable about them. We cannot prevent people from expressing opinions that are different from ours. Okay, so we cannot prevent, let's say, communists from talking. It's not illegal. Communism is not even illegal. It is when they commit crimes in the name of communism, that's when it's illegal. So when you say, ayaw nyo sa party list, you have to make sure that there is a reason that is heavy enough to warrant a change in the Constitution. See, the reason for the existence of party lists is to ensure that everybody has a voice. District representatives will not be able to represent every single interest of their constituents. There are some interests that require expertise. There are some interests that are constitutional. Senior citizens, women and children, indigenous peoples. Those require representation. And that representation can only be through having a congressperson to represent their interests and to participate in cases that could be filed affecting them.